Hi, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. Do I look a wee bit sheepish? It's because I said I wasn't gonna, but I did. I was just thinking this week, maybe like Wednesday or so, if this craft show on Saturday goes well, maybe I can set aside a little bit of the cash from the show and hope that the Blair Farm, I'm pointing this direction, but it's that direction. It's a family farm 3 miles from our house. I get my sweet corn there all through the summer. They have a big barn and they set out, they get produce that they can't grow themselves. Like they'll get a big thing of peaches and divide it up into consumer quantities, and you can go buy a quart of peaches for a pretty good price, and they're really good quality. So they have garage sales. Usually June and then again September, October. And there was a grandma in the family who liked to knit or crochet, and she had a lot of yarn. And this is probably the 4th year that I have gone. Oh, I didn't tell you. I said I was going to watch for their garage sale. I went to their garage sale. At one point, it was probably like 3 or 4 tables set up in a U. So you'd go in here and there's just box after box after box. And they tried to have it organized by colors and all this. And there were smaller bags like scrap yarn that I picked up in previous years. Well, after I thought, yeah, if the craft show goes well, I'll stop. I'll save somebody. I'll stop there. I saw on Facebook they were announcing that it was this weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday I didn't go out. Today I needed to go out and run some errands. And I was going right past it. So I went through my cash box. I'm trying to figure out, okay, how much cash do I need? How many, are there some big bills in here? Yeah, there was a 20. And there was a 10. And there were a couple of 5s that I could spare from my cash box because tomorrow I'm going to be right next to Joanna. So if I run out of like 5s, her earrings are $4 each or 3 for 10. And she gets a lot of 5s, 10s, 20s in the course of it. So she could help me make change if I run into issues. So I pulled $40 cash out of the box. I went through and okay, I could use some greens like dinosaurs and geckos and frogs. And I can always use yellow for butter labs. And I think I'm running a little low on orange. And ooh, these Fentex Super are like 13-ounce skeins. Let's get those. Oh, and there's a pounder. Oh, there's an 8-ounce skein because it was $1 a skein, whether it was a 3-ounce skein or a pounder. So I may have picked out every pounder that they had left. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I only spent 30 of the $40. And then I was thinking, where am I going to put this when I get home? Realize, once I get home, I'm supposed to pack the car for the craft show tomorrow. No. When I got home, I sat in front of the light box for an hour, inventorying all the yarn and putting it into my Ravelry stash. So now I could say, okay, what shades of green do I have? I could go into Ravelry to my yarn stash and say, show me all of my green worsted weight yarn. And it will tell me what I've got and where I have it. Oh, but I was like, where am I going to put this? Well, I spent more than the $30 because they had totes. And they had this big underbed tote that is sort of hinged in the middle so you can open it up from either end. Problem is, there are no longer any beds to put this under because all of the beds in the house already are full of totes under said bed. So I'm not quite sure where it's going to go. We're going to have to work on that. Maybe I could maybe there's a twin bed that maybe I could put these two. There's already got one big tote underneath it, but maybe it would take one on the other side, so I'd have like two totes underneath there. I have to find a place for this tote. Maybe I could put it on top of these shelves, but then I'd have to move the boxes that are on top of the shelf and the humongous box of stuffing that's on top of the shelf. Maybe I could build shelves on the wall. I probably could if I could put cube bookcases on the wall that I'm looking at. Like right now there's a dresser and there's a bookcase, and they don't really have all that much storage space in them, and there's a lot of wall space that's empty in front of me. If I could have cube shelving on that wall, I think stuff would fit in better. But what I need to do is clear some of my stuff out instead of bringing more stuff in. As my youngest daughter would say, Mom, if you need more stuff to hold your stuff, you've got too much stuff. Yes, dear, I hear you. But I gave in today because I got a bargain. I got 30 and a little bit more skeins because I got up to 29, I think. I'll have to count. I didn't count them as I was tossing them into the tote. Maybe I could count them in the picture. I got up to 29 in the bag, I think. And then I had 3 skeins that were pretty floppy, like they were less than half a skein. And I said, okay, I've got 29 here, and these are partial skeins. So will you count these 3 partials as one and $30 for the whole bunch? I mean, I probably could have said, I've got 35 here, will you take 30? And they would have said yes. But they're farm families. Farm families, the weather has not been nice to them lately. I will pay their prices and try to help out there. Okay. Then I went and I ran some more errands. I dropped off the Amazon return of my birthday gift that I couldn't get to work. I went to Panera Bread and I got my birthday treat. I got a cookie from my husband. He said it was quite good. I went to Target and I used a 15% off. Ooh, at Target I found something. Target, in the party favors, like in the section where they have like the little kid birthday candles and party hats and all that, they had googly eye rings. These are huge. These are like twice the size of the ones I got before. So I'm going to make some fun stuff with these. I may have bought 3 bags with 6 in each bag. So now I can make 18 things. But I was so psyched to find those. Finished up at Target. Went over to the grocery store. Spent too much money there. And then came home and had some lunch. When I was in Target, they had a new brand of gluten-free frozen foods, like gluten-free cauliflower crust pizzas and like a fold over, what do they call it? PADIA. It was sort of like a Mexican pizza, but you fold it in half like a taco to eat it. And it was bacon chicken ranch. And that was actually pretty good for a gluten-free, I was going to say microwave dinner, but I didn't microwave it. I put it in the air fryer. So I may have to be going back to Target a little more often to get those, because sometimes it's nice to have a handy lunch in the freezer. We usually have leftovers, or I can air fry some gluten-free chicken fingers or something like that, but this was a nice little treat. I need a treat. It's going to be a rough day tomorrow. So I should be loading the car, but instead I'm just sitting here talking to you guys because I love to avoid tasks like that. My back is going to be killing me after making 6 or 7 trips, taking stuff out to the car. My back's not killing me sitting here talking to you, so I am taking the path of least resistance. But the car is not going to load itself. So I need to stop my foolishness and go get to work. Because the sooner the car is loaded, the sooner I can return to the comfort of my chair and enjoy some craft time. I haven't been crafting all that much lately. Yesterday I probably spent hours on the laptop. I have my inventory updated. I have the spreadsheet and the list of shows all printed out. Oh, where's that note? Is it here? Okay. I did highlight my 2025 shows so I can compare them, like as I'm going through the sales and I'm writing it on my sheet. There is a column on my spreadsheet to say what place this show is. Out of 147 shows, I thought I was already up over 150. But apparently, according to my spreadsheet, I have only done 147 shows. I don't have to sell much. I only have to sell more than $8 to beat my worst show so far this year, the one that got rained out. I don't have the exact figures here, but the 4 shows that I have done in 2025 are ranked 29, 42, 56, and 145 out of 147. So there were 2 worse shows. For the show in East Aurora that got rained out, the fee was $50 and I had $18 in sales. I have done 2 shows that had $40 fees where I sold nothing. One of them was a fundraiser. It was during COVID. It was a fundraiser for a missions trip, and it was all virtual and online, and you just kept posting in this group, and you paid $40 to be able to post in the group and sell your stuff. Didn't sell a thing. But it was for a missions trip. But the other one, I drove probably 30 miles out into the country, an unfamiliar territory, and it was at a hotel. And I walked in and said, like, where's the craft show? The people at the front desk did not know anything about a craft show. First warning sign. It was absolutely, there wasn't any sign out front saying craft show today. There wasn't any sign saying craft show this way in the lobby. it was dead. I mean, throughout the day, I don't think I had one customer who, like an adult, there was one young boy who was swimming, and he would come in just dripping from the swimming pool and be, picking up my stuff. How much is this? Can I have this for $2? How much is this? Can I have this for $2? No, sorry, that's 10. No, sorry, that's 12. Over and over and over. I think he came back 5 or 6 times. And how much is this? Can I have this for $2? How much is this? Can I have this for $2? And I was telling him, I don't have anything on my table that's $2. I'm sorry. But he would come back over and over again. I think his mother was saying, you just keep asking her. She'll give you something for $2. I didn't. That was the worst show ever. Yeah. I think that one was even worse than getting rained on, because I had to drive further. I had to sit there for longer. And it was just more discouraging. At least at the show in East Aurora that got rained out, I had people looking at my stuff, and a couple of people who bought stuff, and some people were like, oh, we'll be back. But then when it started pouring rain, they left and they didn't come back. The weather's supposed to be good tomorrow. So let's see if okay, first goal is to make back my $40 fee. Second goal is $40 fee plus the $38 I spent on yarn and this tote. After that, it's all gravy. Okay, time to go load the car. Debbie Downer. Gotta do some work. Yep. Bye-bye.